Mike Owens here. Today I'm joined by Themba Gorimbo, who coming off a 32-second knockout victory on Saturday night. Themba, great to sit down and chat for the first time. How are things with you today?
Nice to meet you, Michael. How are you doing, brother?
I'm very well, my friend. How are your emotions after such a big win, arguably one of the biggest of your career?
I feel good. I'm ready to go again. Just need to reset my head again and then come back to it and do the work, But my head stays in the game in terms of like I'm mentally preparing already for the next big one. So it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna go out there and perform at the highest level possible and do even a better job than I did in the last one.
That might be very difficult to do for you, Themba, doing what you did so quickly in 32 seconds. I'd like to know, because it is obviously a quick fight. I'm sure you've had a chance to watch it back. Give us a walkthrough, maybe from your experience in the cage or having watched it back, of how you perceive the fight.
So basically, when we were in the cage, I was just like, when the fight started, I knew there was no way this guy is going to beat me. And I could see and hear everything. I could hear my corner, I could hear his corner. His corner was saying calf kick, and I was just laughing in my head. Actually, I wanted to knock him out sooner because when the fight started, I was like, this is the time you can break. I wanted to break the record for the fastest knockout in the UFC, but then he moved away a little bit. And then I was like, okay, cool. It's not happening. I just have to be patient. Can you hear me? Sorry.
I can. Yes.
So I just said, okay, cool. It's patient. Be patient, patient. Then I kind of visualize this though that within the first two shots I throw that will land, you'll be out. It will be done, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, no, 100%. To many people's surprise, you didn't receive the performance of the night bonus. It went to Randy Brown and Meatball Molly McCann, who obviously got first round victories, but took a lot longer than yours. Were you surprised that you never received the 50K bonus?
I think Dana is going to send me the bonus. I think the media is going to ask him this coming week about me and be like, why didn't you give Themba the bonus? And he's going to be like, probably. But hey, I'm grateful. I'm happy. I was not surprised. I also like jinxed myself by refusing the bonus. When Molly McCann, she says to me, Themba, let's go out there and get the bonus, my brother. Then I said to her, hey, Molly, I just want to win. The win is enough for me. So I jinxed myself. Words speak volumes. And I think I jinxed myself. That's why I didn't get the bonus. So I'm not more disappointed because I now know my words are powerful.
Of course. Look, before we jumped on today, I've watched quite a lot of your media, your other interviews that you've done, both pre and post fight. I watched your media scrum as well, and I know that a lot of people talk about your backstory, and you've done a lot of interviews talking about that. Nevertheless, it's been a big 12 months for you. It feels like a lot has happened from making your debut in the 18th of February 2023 to what you just did on Saturday night. Can you break down for what the last 12 months means for you?
I feel like I'm being blessed. The last year has been a blessing, and the next coming years are going to be super blessed. Because I feel like my story is here to inspire a lot of people by being me. I'm just being me. I'm just being myself. An emotional wreck from Zimbabwe doing his thing and winning fights, becoming a champion. That's I think the most important thing. I am happy. I'm happy with how life is playing out and the support that I have with the Rock and the UFC and everybody. It's a blessing, and I'm super grateful.
If could I ask, is there a moment that maybe hasn't been documented? There's been a lot wrote about you, about your relationship with The Rock. There's been obviously your fights in the public eye, but is there maybe a moment behind the scenes which you're most grateful for in the last year?
Just being able to do this every day and being healthy, that's the best thing. Being healthy, like I'm healthy, I'm super healthy. Mentally, I've got the best mental clarity and things on life. Obviously, I'm an emotional guy. Sometimes it works to my favor, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm grateful that the emotion that I have, they drive me all the time. Whether it's a negative emotion or positive emotion, it keeps me going and keeps me wanting to do great and better things. So I think we're getting somewhere, and that's why I truly believe this year is going to be my year, and I'm going to become what I am destined to be.
100%. You mentioned there, and I saw in your post-fight media scrum, the Rock sent you a message. that made you cry pre-fight. Did that stir up any emotions for you to perform? Did that add any extra pressure or stir up anything maybe positive or indeed negative in you? What was that whole exchange like?
Pressure makes diamonds, my brother. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. Pressure makes diamonds. But yeah, it was pressure. There was pressure, obviously, going into this one. But I think I held my own on that. After that message, I cried not because of pressure. I cried just because I was realizing where I was in life, and it's an emotional moment. I was like, "Hey man, it's so hard to be here. Come too far. There's no turning back right now. I'm gonna have to go out there and do this." So yeah, it's a blessing, bro. I love this life.
As I say, it's been well documented the life that you lived, some of the troubles that you've had to face. May I ask, is there a particular person or a particular moment from another person's life that has been an inspiration to you?
I take everything with a positive mindset, whether it's good or bad. Being broke is good, right? Being broke, having $7 is good because look where I am right now. So, and having money is good, as we all know it. So, anything that has happened to me in my life, I'm super grateful of it. And everything that will happen in my life, I am already grateful of it. So it's just a way of thinking that I have, and that is very different to everybody.
100%. Talking about The Rock, as we know, he's done a lot for you. Obviously, I know that he's bought you the house, I believe, that you're sitting in right now, plus a couple of other things that have again been documented. Where do you believe you are without the influence of Dwayne The Rock Johnson across this last year?
I'll be here.
You'll be exactly where you are.
Yeah, because you know what? It's already here. So we cannot look and where would we think? Well, I'll be here because our paths were made before we were here. God already put us in tune and in line of what is to happen, what will happen, and what is happening. So don't question where you are. It's a blessing to be right there in front of you. So yeah, never question where you are. I mean, just live. It's fine.
You're right. Do you consider yourself, is it a friendship between you and The Rock at this moment in time? Where are you guys at on a personal level, in your opinion?
You can't say friendship because I can't be friends with someone that I look at as my hero, like kind of my hero, and someone that I look at it. Yeah, it's hard. We're not the same. Like where I come from. If someone is older than you, you cannot be friends with them, and you have to respect them.
Yes.
So if I'm saying I'm friends with DJ, he's a great man. No, I'm not at that level. So what I can say is that is a great man in my life that is helping me and supporting me to do great things in my life too.
100%.
Every day. I'm here in Miami living here because of him. So everything is because him and God, I believe God put our paths when we were born already. It was meant to be here. So yeah, it's okay. I'm happy and grateful.
You mentioned that word a lot in this conversation and in other interviews that I've seen you do. For example, in your post-fight gratitude is the word I'm saying. In your post-fight media scrum, you talked about being grateful for fighting in the Apex, whereas some other fighters are saying they want to move out of the Apex. You seem to have this air of gratitude in everything that is in your life. Why do you feel that you are able to express those feelings of gratitude in such a way?
Because I grew up with nothing. I grew up with, I had what I had, but when you have what I have now and comparing to what I had before, you cannot be anything than being grateful, So I was never the coolest kid in high school. I was never the coolest kid in town. I was never nothing. I was not the brightest student in school. I was not anything before. And even now, I'm still nothing, right? I'm coming to become something that can put the world, I can inspire the world in a positive world, in a positive way. So we cannot take away those things and just be like, I'm entitled to this. No, I'm not entitled to nothing. I'm super grateful for everything. And gratitude is the way. And gratitude is something that I always have and that I'll always have. Even to those that have faulted me, I'm super grateful for them because you know what? If they didn't, I wouldn't be here.
Do you consider yourself a role model to people? And if so, is that an
I'm not
important
a,
thing?
I'm not a role model to nobody. Because when you're a role model, people project you and want to make you be something that is not you, and they want to fit you in a box. And a great example that I always make is when I was in South Africa, I once had a client, and I think the child, I can't remember really well, but I think the child was supporting liked Messi or something like that. And until Messi, I think, put tattoos on his body, and like kind of like turn them off. Why? Because he made a choice that he wanted a tattoo. And then people, when you're a role model, people put you in a position where they want you to behave and look a certain way for them, not for you. So I'm not a role model, but one thing I know, I'm an inspiring person. That's one thing I know for sure, because even if you don't like me, my story is going to inspire you, because you know what, this story is going to be so great. It's already great. Come on. It's already great as it is. It can only inspire. It gives you hope. It's light. And yeah, I can say I'm inspirational to many. If you choose to hate me, it's because you hate yourself. That's it.
I don't think there's many people who hate you candidly, Themba. I don't think how many people could.
There's plenty. Especially after the rock stuff happened, there were plenty of people who came out of the hood and, like, out of nowhere, say, "Oh, why is the rock this giving?" Some called me a Ken. I don't know what Ken, probably not a very good fighter. They would say those things. Why is he getting a house? He's not a good fighter. He didn't give me the house because I'm a good fighter. He gave me the house just based on who I am, not a fighter. He didn't look at the UFC and say, "Is he a good fighter? Is he going to be a champion?" I had to tell him I'm going to be a champion. I had to. Even to this day, I still have to tell him exactly. Sometimes DJ he's not fully aware of the sport. Like, we're talking in December, he's like, "Hey, your fight is getting close. I hope you're getting into camp now." I'm like, the camp is almost done. You know, that's the type of things that people don't know, that he did what he did for me, not based on anything, just being a good person, good heart, right? So it's life, it's a blessing, and let's go.
We've talked about The Rock doing things for you. I want to talk about what you do for other people. I know that you've built multiple, I believe, 4 wells back in your hometown, or certainly home nation of Zimbabwe. I know that you've also mentioned the solar paneled library you also want to build. How important are these achievements outside of fighting and kind of that giving back aspect to your community and your home and your
Those are the most important things, because you know what, when we are all said and done, those things stay.
Yes.
Those are the things that stay. That place that I built the borehole, even if that borehole breaks, one day I'm not here alive and I'm gone, people will be like, "Oh, they used to be." You know, it's history, it's legacy, it's things that stay forever.
Of course, you want to be world champion in the UFC, but would you rather be remembered for your actions outside of the cage than inside the cage?
I am going to be a world champion in the UFC, and I want to. For me, being a champion is for myself. That's for me, to be able to say the path was hard, but I did it. And then the other stuff, I do it because I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered as a guy that was himself, who was not afraid to speak out, who was not afraid to stand up for others, who was not afraid to do something for others, and sometimes to his own detriment. So it is something that I am, and it is something that probably people will remember me for. And besides me being sometimes not a nice guy, because I'm a very emotional person, and it depends on the weather and when you find me, because sometimes I'm human, just like everybody. You know, you find me angry, you're gonna get an angry temper. You find me busy with something, like yesterday, I actually had an interaction, I think, with a guy. It's like a fun, but I think this person would go and say, "Hey, this guy." But you know what had just happened? I was scammed. So I was buying the flights to go back home. Then I had just been scammed, and I'm stressed. And the person came so happy to me and tried to fist bump me. I know because I was called to him because I'm busy trying to just say, hey, how are you? And I'm busy. But you see, from what I noticed, he probably goes on and say, oh, that guy isn't there. But in the world where I was in that moment, honestly, you just got scammed like $5,000. You're gonna be panicking.
Yes.
And I was panicking. I'm still panicking. That's why I said 20 minutes this interview, because I need to go into the bank now to try and reverse the transaction.
Well, hopefully the guy that bumped into you sees this interview and can seize your explanation for your reason for that. A couple more questions, because I do know you're a busy man. dricusduplessis won the world title, but that brought the world title, middleweight title, back to South Africa a couple of weeks ago. Does that mean
Skip?
You don't want to talk about that?
No, I'm tired of talking about that. This is about me.
I was just
people don't ask him about me. So
all I was going to ask is, do you think the thoughts of UFC Africa are any nearer, and I presume you would like to be on that card if it was to happen?
If it's happening in any other country in Africa, I would do so.
Okay, perfect.
It was something that I wrote down myself, that I would never want to fight again in South Africa. If it happens in any other country, I would do so. I would get on the card. It's just my thing. That's why I don't want to talk about it. Let's keep.
I appreciate that. Last question from me then, Themba, and thank you for your time. It's been a big 12 months for you, as we talked about at the start of this interview. I'd like to know what your goals are for the next 12-month period. Where would you like to be come the start of February 2025?
I'm going to be a champion. Firstly, I'm going to be an inspirational. Secondly, I'm going to do great things in life for me and for others as well. And I'm just going to be myself, continue being me, better and worse. I don't know. It will come with time.
I love it. Themba, thank you for your time. It's great to see you back in action Saturday night. Congratulations on the victory, and I hope you enjoy it. I look forward to seeing you back in action soon.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you.